You're going to take your roll and measure off 1/2 inch marks. You can use toilet paper rolls, paper towel rolls, or you can even buy craft rolls on Amazon now. Then I'm just using some cheap scissors. I missed the work in here. So I use a standard toilet paper roll and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces out of it. So you're going to need about 40 cuts of yarn that are roughly 12 inches. So the easiest way to do it is take a ruler and wrap it 40 times. Except for my yarn keeps knotting. Alright, so let's pretend I have 40 wraps here. I don't. But then the yarn's on a knot right now. Then you just cut one end like this, and then the other end, and you would have 40 pieces that are 12 inches long. You can also use something else to wrap around: a chair, a book, TV remote, your feet, and you can use different lengths. You probably could actually get away with something closer to like 10 inches, but I don't have anything 10 inches right now, so I'm just doing this. And I have some pieces left over from another hat I did. So you can take your yarn, and this is going to be random pieces. Take your piece of yarn, fold it in half. I keep the two ends, my right hand, in the loop that's created by the fold in my left. It's going to fold, go into my roll piece, and my two ends go in that, and you're just making a little loop. So I fold it in half, I put 2 ends in my right hand, but the loop's going to go through the toilet paper roll. Then that loop's going to go over my 2 ends, and I'm going to pull. I don't want to mix this up though. So I'm not doing any particular pattern on this. Now if you're using a different roll, say you're using a roll from wrapping paper or something, you may need more or less pieces. You'll need roughly 40. This is a toilet paper roll I'm using. I believe it's off of Costco brand. In case they are different sizes, I don't think they are. You can get little plastic craft rings or something to go around. You're just taking the pieces, folding it in half, the 2 ends in your right hand, taking the loop in, going through the roll piece, and then tucking them under. You're going to get gapping once in a while. You can just push it down, and you might get loose. You can just tighten it up too. See, there's a gap there. Push it a little loose, tighten it up. You can do a pattern, not do a pattern. This one was done with a pattern. This one was done with just multicolored yarns. So there's no pattern at all. This is a mixture of all these yarns, so definitely no pattern there. You can do it all one color. Oops. You can also, since I usually do crochet, use your hook. So you loop it, pull your hook through. If I use my fingers, it's easier, and then you take your hook and you loop those through, and you pull it through. But fingers are so much easier. So now that you got all of them tied or slipped on, you can finish off your hat different ways. This is just tying it straight like this and then cutting it down. And then I added both colored yarns. I crocheted into a chain for the hanging. This one, I took the yarn, turned it inside out, then tied it and cut it down and added a single strand for its hanging piece. And then this one, I tied it, then turned it inside out, so it's actually tied inside. So I tied it, trimmed it down so it wasn't all the strands, and turned it inside out. Then crocheted a single strand and tied it on first tire. So since this is very similar to this, I'm going to do one more like this. So I'm going to take some yarn, try to get your hat going all the same way, tie it up an inch or so, maybe 2-3 fingers up of the brim of the hat. Then I flip it over, tie it the other way. Try to get all the yarn going the same way, and I tie it one more time on this side so that way it's double knotted. And then, because this is just way too much to have inside the hat, I just trim some down. This is the same way you trim it down if you're making a puffball, but a little more methodical so it looks nicer. I'm just trying to hack it down. You could actually leave it like that and you have a big poof. That's going to be too long there. Alright, let's get those out of the way. And then I'm going to take it and turn it inside out. And then I have some scraps that I can turn into a hanging thing. Except for this one has a knot in it. Since I happen to have 3, I can actually braid this like I did with this. So now that I have it braided, take my hook, run under a couple of strands, I can tie them together. Trim off my excess. And there's another one.